All right. Either you build wealth or you work for someone who does. 3 weeks ago, I told you that was the whole game. And tonight, I'm going to prove it one last time because tonight we're looking at the most expensive lie that we were ever told. They told us put your money in a 401k, get the match, don't touch it, retire comfortably. Okay, let's run the numbers that they didn't run for you. The average 401k balance at age 65 is $232,000. That's it. That's the retirement plan. Using the 4% rule, that produces $773 a month. Social Security adds about $1,900. Your comfortable retirement is $32,000 a year. After working 40 years to get there, and the man who invented the 401k publicly said in 2017 it had become a monster that should be blown up. The creator said that it's broken and we're still being told to max it out. Tonight, I'm showing you what the ownership class actually does, so make sure you stay right there. What's up, wealth builders? Welcome to Wealth Builder Wednesdays. I'm Jael Thomas, wealth strategist. I've moved 25 million or more in assets helping professionals get out of the paycheck loop. And every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I come on here and break down the stuff that school skipped. If you're new tonight, drop new in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Super happy to have you here. You picked the right night to show up because this is the finale of the April series. 3 weeks ago, I told you either you build wealth or you work for someone who does. I showed you the rule book was a lie. I showed you how to invest with no capital and no credit. Tonight, we're going to land the plane because the 401k is the last lie. It's the story that they told us so we keep showing up to jobs that we hate for 40 years. And tonight, I'm going to show you the numbers, the alternative, and exactly what your next best move is. If you've been here for the last 3 weeks, do me a favor and drop a fire emoji in the chat and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I see you. You already know more about how money works than 95% of people in this country. And at the end of tonight, I'm going to open two doors for the people ready to actually build their wealth plan with me in their corner. Not coaching, not courses, real one on one strategy. For now, though, let's lock in. Let's go. The 401k math problem, when we really actually run the numbers, we see what's really going on. It was not designed to make you rich. It was designed in 1978 to reduce the tax burden on high earning executives. Section 401k was a loophole for the C suite execs. It got marketed to everyone else as the retirement plan, but it was never the plan. It was a side dish that they sold us as the whole meal. The average 401k when someone turns 60 to 65 years old is $232,000. That's from Vanguard itself. Using the 4% rule, that produces $9,280 a year, meaning $773 a month. The average Social Security check is $1,900. Your total retirement income is going to be $2,673, meaning 32 grand a year. Can you live off $32,000? The average US rent right now is between $1,700 and $2,100, depending on the market. If you guys are here with me in the DMV, you already know that's going to get you a one bedroom. I hope you don't have any kids staying with you. After 40 years of doing everything right, the average American retires on $32,000 a year. Let that sink in, y'all. Rent eats up half of it. You call that a retirement plan? I call that working until you die. The 401k is not a retirement plan. It's a slow motion, disappointment with the tax break attached to it. We haven't even got into all of the fees and all of the other things that come out of this. Your average 401k fee is 1% per year. That does not sound like much, but over 35 years at 1% fee, that eats roughly 28% of your final balance. On a $500,000 portfolio, that's about $140,000 handed to someone else silently. You have no access. You cannot touch this money for 59 and a half years without a 10% penalty plus income tax. Your money is locked in a cage that someone else controls. You pick from 12 to 20 mutual funds someone else put in front of you. You don't get to pick the companies. You don't pick the strategy. You pick a color and you hope. If the market crashes in your last 5 working years, and it did between 2008 and 2020, I've seen someone's retirement account dip $300,000 within 2 years. Decades of compounding can evaporate right before you need the money. Ask anybody who was supposed to retire in 2008. They lost 40% of their retirement overnight. Then they tell you, get the match. It's free money. Sure, get the match. The 3% bump is real, but don't confuse getting matched $3,000 a year with having a retirement plan. That's not a plan. That's a rounding error on a house that you can't afford in 35 years. Put it this way, the 401k is the most expensive hope in America. Hope that the market cooperates. Hope that your company doesn't cut the match. Hope that your fees don't eat it alive. Hope that you don't need the money before 59 and a half. Hope that inflation doesn't outrun it. Hope is not a plan. Ownership is a plan. Have you actually ever calculated what your 401k will produce in monthly retirement income? Let me get a yes or a never in the chat. Be honest, guys. There's no judgment here on the wealth builders because we all are going through different things that we have to figure out and overcome. And that's what this is for. Most people have never done the math. So if you haven't, you are not alone because the system doesn't want you to do that math. I guarantee you they don't want you to. Here's the kicker, and I want you to sit with this. Ted Bena is the man who invented the 401k in 1980. He invented it. And in 2017, he gave a public interview where he literally said, and I'm quoting here, the 401k monster is out of control. It should be blown up, and it's failing the very workers it was supposed to help. The creator said it's broken. The creator. And Wall Street, financial advisors, and HR departments are still out here telling you to max it out and trust the process. At what point do we stop trusting the process and start building our own? Here's what the ownership class actually does, okay? So we've established that the 401k is a trap. Now let me show you what people on the other side of the line do instead. You can't pay rent with net worth. You can't quit your job with net worth. Cash flow is what pays your bills. Cash flow is what replaces your paycheck. Cash flow is what makes you free. The ownership class builds cash flow. The worker class builds net worth on paper in hopes. Let me do a quick scenario for you guys. Okay, so scenario A, 500,000 in a 401k at age 60, using the 4% rule comes out to about 20,000 a year. All right, so 20,000 a year would roughly be about 1,667 a month. We could say 1,700 a month. Taxable income, no control, you can't leverage it, and you can't pass it on efficiently. Scenario B, the same $500,000 deployed into 3 cash flow and rental properties at an 8 to 10% cash on cash return yields you 45,000 to 50 grand a year in cash flow. That's 370 and 750 to $4,200. Plus, the properties appreciate. Plus, you get depreciation to shelter that income from taxes. Plus, you can 1031 your way to bigger assets. Plus, you can leverage them to buy more. Plus, at death, they pass to your kids at a step up basis. Here's the gap that nobody talks about. It's the same $500,000. One path yields you $1,700 a month that you can barely control. The other half gives you $4,000 a month that you fully control, plus appreciation, plus tax benefits, plus generational transfer. That's not a small difference. That's 2.5 times the income and 10 times the flexibility. What's up, Lamont? I'm glad you're here. Super excited. Anybody, you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat. I'll make sure I get to them at the end. If it's something relevant to what we're talking about right now, I got you. I will do my best to pay attention to the chat. All right. So here's the move that most people don't know exists, because I know y'all are like, okay, yes, this is me. Now, what should I be doing? If you've already got money stuck in an old 401k from a previous job or in a traditional IRA, there's a vehicle called a self-directed IRA. I bet none of your financial advisors have told you about this. I'll wait. Crickets. You can roll your existing retirement money into one and then use it to buy real estate. I invest in RV parks, rental properties. You can invest in notes, mobile home parks, all tax deferred or tax free, depending on your Roth versus a traditional. Your 401k money was stuck, earning 7% in an index fund. Now you can get to 15 to 20% in an asset that you actually own, guys. This is not a secret. It's not sketchy. It's a legal vehicle that's been around since 1974. But your 401k provider will never tell you about it because they lose your fees the moment that you roll out. These people are collecting checks off of you all the time, and they never even notify you that they just paid themselves out. Do you know how much money you've paid your financial advisor? I advise you to go look and see why they haven't told you about a self-directed IRA. The person that I am, I will pull up on them and say, hey, what's a self-directed IRA and why haven't you informed me since I've been paying you every year? I know a woman, she's a nurse, 52 years old. She had $180,000 sitting in a 401k from a hospital that she left. She rolled that money into a self-directed IRA. She partnered with an experienced operator, meaning someone who has experience in running an asset, and bought into a small RV park. That $180,000 now produces her $22,000 a year in cash flow inside of her IRA, tax deferred. She didn't need more income. She needed the money she already had to actually work for her. 2 years in, she's on track to retire at 60 on cash flow, not prayers. Real financial security isn't a number in an account that you can't touch. It's income that shows up every month, whether you get out of bed or not. That's the difference between retirement and freedom. They are not the same thing. How many people on here want to be free, not just retired, counting your coins and seeing if you can go out to eat? Did you know you could use retirement money to buy real estate? Drop a yes or blew my mind in the chat. I want to see how many of you were sitting on this unlock and didn't know it. Okay. If you didn't know this and this is new information to you, I really advise that you visit my website, jaelthomas.com. Everything that you need to know is there. My story, who I am, why this is so important to me, the 25 million in assets we've moved, the asset classes that we invest in, my family office, and the 2 doors to actually work with me. If you need to get to know me before you commit to anything, go there right now, jaelthomas.com. Open it in a new tab, and I'll give you the doors at the end of this. For now, keep watching because teaching block number 3 is your escape plan. How many people want their escape plan of how they're going to get out of this paycheck loop and this fake retirement plan? All right. So are you guys ready for the actual 4-step escape plan? Most people I've helped follow some version of this, but again, it depends on who you are, where you are, and what your goals are. But it's pretty much the same. Step 1, get the match, but stop there. If your employer matches 3%, contribute 3%. It's free money. Don't leave free money on the table. I would never tell you to do that. But stop at the match unless you have no other options. Every dollar above the match is a dollar you've handed over to a fund manager for 1% fees instead of deploying into assets you actually control. Step 2, pick a cash flow lane and learn it. Learn it from scratch. How many things have you guys learned since you were born? So many. It may be hard in the beginning, but as you start learning, you get better and better and better. Residential rentals, RV parks, assisted living, sober living, group housing, mobile homes, small multifamily, self-storage. Pick one. I don't care which one it is. Do not pick all of them. Just one for now. Learn the numbers. Learn the players. Learn what a good deal looks like. 3 months of focused learning beats 3 years of scattered podcasts. Are y'all ready for step 3? Step 3, use the tax code to accelerate. Depreciation, cost segregation, 1031 exchanges. If you missed last week, watch the replay because these are the accelerators. Without them, you're running a cash flow strategy on hard mode. With them, you're running it with the wind at your back. Step 4, this is my favorite one, guys. Stack up those cash flowing assets until your passive income exceeds your expenses. This is the definition of freedom. When you have passive income coming in that covers all of your expenses plus some. That month right there, when cash flow covers your bills, is your actual retirement. Not 65, not 67. The month that your cash flow exceeds your bills is when you are truly retired and you are free. You could leave your job the next day if that happens for you at age 33. Think about that, guys. For some of the people I've worked with, that was 3 years, not 30. Because here's the math. If your expenses are $6,000 a month, you don't need $2 million in a 401k. You need cash flow and assets that produce $6,000 a month or more. That's a very different number. That's 700 to 900,000 deployed properly, depending on your starting point. That's 5 to 10 years, not 40. And again, guys, I already taught you, you don't have to have the money. You can know other people that have money and want to do this with you. It's not all on you. Get creative and find a way to be free. Retirement isn't an age. It's a number. It's the month that your assets pay your bills without your time. The 401k industry needs you to think that retirement is an age because the longer you wait, the more fees they collect off of you. When you redefine retirement as a number you can hit, everything changes for you. And most of you can hit it way faster than you've been told. Question for you guys. If your passive income covered your expenses tomorrow, what would you do with your time? Lamont, if you here, tell me what you would do if you was free and, passive income covered all the bills. What would you do? Would you be on a beach? Would you be going to visit your grandchildren more? Spending more time with your family? Traveling the world? Doing whatever you want to do? What's on that bucket list, guys? All right, y'all. So this is where we land the plane. 3 weeks, 3 lies shattered. Week 1 was the rule book. Week 2, I showed you that you didn't need capital or credit to invest. Week 3, your 401k was never the plan. If you've been here the last 3 weeks, you know more about how money actually works than 95% of people walking around. You dangerous now. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here's what happens next. Everything I'm about to tell you lives at jaelthomas.com. If you're new tonight, that's your starting point. Go there, read my story, see the work, get to know me before you commit to anything. Once you're on the site, you'll see two real doors to work with me. Door number one is the wealth strategy session. 60 minutes one-on-one with me. You show up with your numbers. I collect the information in advance so that we are prepared for the call and I can give you a personalized strategy. It includes your 401k, your W-2, your existing assets, your existing debt, whatever you're in, whatever you think you should be doing, and we build your personalized wealth plan together. It's not generic advice, it's your actual strategy. If you've been here the last 3 weeks and you're ready to move, that is your first door to go through. Door number two. This is a big one and it's not for everybody. That's exactly why everything that we do, you have to apply first, because I'm never going to be the person to take your money and you're not ready. Period. I'm going to tell you straight up, this is not for you. 12 months of one-on-one wealth strategy with me, monthly sessions, quarterly deep reviews, direct access between sessions, observer seat inside of my family office ecosystem. This is where high earners stop optimizing and start owning. It's 24 grand a year and it's 2,500 a month if you want me on retainer to help you along the way. Applications open next week. We're launching the first cohort soon, and seats are limited, of course, because we want to make sure that we take care of the people who take action, and it's going to be a very small group of people that come in. The sales page is live at jaelthomas.com/elite path to freedom. Go read it tonight. Get familiar so that when applications open, you're ready to move. Here's the play. If you book a strategy session this week, you're on the short list when Elite Path applications open up. That's my way of making sure the people who've been here building with me get the first right to say yes. If you're new, just go to my website and get to know me. And if you're not ready, keep coming here to Wealth Builder Wednesday so you can learn. I literally built my business from learning from gurus and then getting in the rooms with them. Education and getting in the right places will take you so much further than just sitting on the sidelines. If you want the elite path to freedom, come through the strategy session first so that we can make sure it's even a fit for you. All right, y'all. Super excited to work with whoever comes through the mentorship and is approved and selected. Okay. So here's some questions that I reckon that I will probably get. Lamont said he will be on the beach traveling with his wife and sons and building more cash flow. Guys, this channel and this information that I'm sharing with you all is for you to be able to dream. Anybody that's feeling like they are stuck, like they're in a loop, you are not alone. I felt the same way, and that's why I just had to go deep and figure out this cannot be it. What else is out there for me? What else can I do to actually be the first multimillionaire in my family? Because that's really important. It's okay to want to be wealthy and to have wealth, because with wealth, you can help more people. Okay, so questions that I think that, I definitely want to answer before we get off of here is, should I cash out my 401k and buy real estate? Usually, no. The penalty is 10% plus taxes. Your better play is a self-directed IRA rollover. Book the strategy session so we can help you map that out if that works for your particular situation. Another thing I hear, I'm 50. Is it too late for me? No, the numbers often work faster at 50 because you have more capital to deploy. What if my job offers a pension and a 401k? Pensions are rare and valuable. Keep it. Still diversify into cash flow outside of it. Is rental real estate really passive? With operator partnerships, property management, yes. Without them, it's a whole nother job. One thing about your girl, I don't touch tenants or toilets because I want my investments to be truly passive. So if you do come through my ecosystem, we partner with experienced operators. We always have property managers on the deal. So myself and our investors, we are completely passive, which is awesome. Now, if you want to get in the mud and you don't want to be passive, I'll help you buy a property, but I'm definitely not partnering with you because I don't want to do all of that hard work. How much do I need to start? That depends on the lane that you select. Private lending is usually about 25K or more. And again, you can join up with some friends, maybe 5 people with 5K, come together and do your first investment. Never let limits stop you from taking action. When it comes to syndications in the larger asset classes like RV parks and things of that nature, it's usually a $50,000 minimum, and usually you need to be an accredited investor. However, we do have opportunities for accredited and non-accredited investors. And the operator partnerships vary by asset. So, what exactly is the elite path to freedom? It's 12 months of group coaching, one-on-one strategy that is customized right out of the gate. There are monthly sessions, quarterly blueprints, direct access to the deals that I get, which is from my exclusive network. It's an observer seat in how myself and my team and my family get into all of these great deals. So you get a little bit of the inside behind the scenes, how we are building and fostering these relationships, and then how we are deploying capital into assets. Remember, applications open next week. The sales page is already live on my website if you need more information. Okay. So, guys, that's all I have for you today. One more time before we wrap, because if you take nothing else from these 3 weeks, I want you to take this away. Either you build wealth or you work for someone who does. Which one do you want to be? That's it. That's the whole story. That's what every episode that I'm going to drop for you guys is about. That's why wealth builders exist. Okay, so week 1, we shattered the rule book. Week 2, we proved you don't need capital or credit. Tonight, we killed the 401k myth. You now know more about how money works than most people. What you do with it, that's the only thing that matters right now. 3 things before you go. If you're new tonight, go to my website, click that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with somebody who needs to hear this because I know it's a lot of people. 2, if you're ready to move, book your wealth strategy session. I'm going to pin the link into the comments. 3, Elite Path applications open next week. Same time, same place, 7:30 Eastern. Keep building wealth.